The Legacy of Kamara. In the quiet, struggling village of Ndarama, a girl named Kamara was born into a family bound by hardship. Her father, Boko, was once a skilled fisherman, but a terrible storm destroyed his boat, leaving the family without their main source of income. Her mother, Zubida, sold roasted plantains by the roadside, but what little she earned was barely enough to feed their 5 children. Their house, a small mud structure with a leaking roof, stood as a reminder of their poverty. The nights were often long and cold, with empty stomachs grumbling in the silence. Yet, despite their struggles, Kamara carried an unshakable fire in her heart. She refused to let her family remain in poverty forever. Kamara was an exceptional child, eager to learn even when her stomach growled from hunger. Her father always told her, "Knowledge is the only inheritance no one can take from you." But school was a luxury, and her parents couldn't afford to send all their children. Determined, she borrowed old books from neighbors and studied by the flickering flame of a kerosene lamp. "One day, I will rewrite our story," she often whispered to herself. But the world did not hand out dreams so easily. At the age of 10, she started waking before dawn to help her mother roast plantains, balancing her school books on her lap. By 12, she took on extra jobs, fetching water for neighbors, washing clothes, and grinding millet at the village mill, all to save a few coins for her school fees. Despite the exhaustion, she remained the top student in her class, impressing even the strictest teachers. "You are meant for great things," Kamara, her teacher, Mr. Otieno, once told her. Those words fueled her fire, pushing her to work even harder. When she turned 16, tragedy struck. Her father fell gravely ill, and the medical bills drained the little money they had. Her mother took loans from moneylenders, and soon the family was drowning in debt. The house they lived in, already falling apart, was at risk of being taken by creditors. "Kamara, you must drop out of school," Zubida told her one evening, tears in her eyes. But Kamara refused. "I will find a way," she vowed. With no other choice, she started her own business, making and selling spice peanuts in small paper cones. Every morning, she prepared fresh batches before heading to school, selling them during lunch breaks and after class. The village children mocked her. "Peanut seller," they sneered. Some classmates whispered that she would never amount to anything beyond street vending. But Kamara held her head high. "I am selling peanuts today so I can own businesses tomorrow," she told herself. With discipline and strategy, her small trade flourished. She introduced new flavors, used better packaging, and even convinced the local shopkeeper to sell her peanuts in bulk. Word spread, and soon even teachers and village traders began buying from her. By the time she finished secondary school, she had saved enough money to enroll in a small college in the city of Nyanda. The city was a battlefield full of distractions and challenges. She arrived in Nyanda with a small bag of clothes and a dream too big to carry. Life was not easy. She lived in a cramped one-room apartment with 3 other students, sharing food and managing on little. Kamara juggled her education and business, waking early to cook food for sale before attending classes. She expanded, hiring other struggling students to help distribute her goods across different schools and offices. With her sharp mind, she learned the principles of branding and marketing, turning her peanut business into a recognizable name. However, success was not instant. There were days she sat in the market from morning till evening without selling much. Some days, she returned to her small room with nothing but exhaustion and disappointment. Maybe this is not meant for me, she thought one evening after losing a big order. But then she remembered her mother's words, "We do not quit in this family." She gathered herself, learned from her mistakes, and pushed forward. By the time she graduated, Kamara had saved enough money to start a proper food production company. She launched Kamara's Delights, a brand specializing in snacks and natural food products. At first, she struggled to find customers, but she persisted, knocking on doors, attending trade fairs, and using social media to promote her products. Slowly, her business grew, and soon, supermarkets and shops began stocking her goods. She reinvested every little profit, ensuring the company expanded sustainably. Years passed, and Kamara's company expanded beyond Meander, reaching different regions of the country. She built factories, employed hundreds of people, and became one of the youngest self-made entrepreneurs in the nation. The once mocking voices of her childhood were now replaced with admiration and respect. Some of her old classmates, the same ones who had laughed at her peanut business, now sought jobs at her company. But Kamara never forgot her roots. She returned to Ndarama, no longer as the poor girl who once sold peanuts, but as a beacon of success. She built a proper house for her family, ensuring her parents lived in comfort. She also established a business academy, training young girls in entrepreneurship and financial independence. "No dream is too big," she told them. "If I could rise from nothing, so can you." Years later, Kamara stood on a grand stage in Uganda, receiving an award for her contribution to business and community development. As she held the trophy, she thought back to the girl who once studied by candlelight, who once walked the streets selling peanuts. "Success is not just about wealth," she said in her speech. "It is about lifting others as you climb." The crowd erupted in applause, but Kamara only smiled. She had fought, she had won, and she had built a legacy from nothing. Lessons. Your circumstances do not define your future. Kamara was born into poverty, but she refused to let it dictate her destiny. Education and self-improvement are powerful tools. Even when she couldn't afford formal schooling, she found ways to learn and grow. Hard work and innovation opened doors. She turned a small peanut business into a thriving enterprise by being consistent and creative. Giving back is the true measure of success. Kamara did not just escape poverty, she ensured others in her village had opportunities too. Resilience and determination can overcome any obstacle. No matter how many struggles she faced, she never gave up on her dream.